Success is a concept that has fascinated humanity for centuries. It is the elusive prize we chase, the destination we strive to reach, and the measure by which many of us judge our lives. But what if I told you that success isn't about grand gestures, sudden breakthroughs, or even extraordinary talent? What if the secret to achieving success lies not in the monumental, but in the mundane, in a simple daily habit that anyone can adopt? The truth is, success is not an accident. It is a result of consistent, intentional actions repeated over time. And the foundation of those actions is often a single, unassuming practice that becomes the cornerstone of a productive, purposeful life. Let me begin by asking you a question. What do you do first thing in the morning? Do you reach for your phone, scroll through social media, or check emails? Or do you take a moment to set the tone for your day? The difference between these two choices might seem trivial, but over time it becomes profound. The habit of starting your day with clarity and intention, whether through planning, reflection, or focused goal setting, is a simple daily practice that can transform your life. This habit is not glamorous. It doesn't require special skills or resources, but it is powerful because it shifts your mindset from reactive to proactive, from scattered to purposeful. Imagine waking up each morning and taking just 10 minutes to write down your priorities for the day. You don't need a fancy planner or an elaborate system, just a piece of paper and a pen. In those 10 minutes, you decide what matters most. You identify the tasks that align with your long-term goals, the actions that will move you forward, and the commitments that deserve your energy. This act of writing down your priorities forces you to think critically about how you spend your time. It forces you to say no to distractions and yes to progress. Over days, weeks, and months, this small ritual compounds into extraordinary results. But why is this habit so effective? Because it addresses one of the greatest challenges we face in the modern world: the constant pull of distractions. We live in an age of endless notifications, infinite scrolling, and relentless demands on our attention. Without a clear plan, we default to reacting rather than creating. We let other people's agendas dictate our time. We confuse busyness with productivity. This simple act of setting daily priorities cuts through the noise. It gives you a roadmap, a way to navigate the chaos with purpose. It turns your day from a series of random events into a deliberate journey toward your goals. Consider the story of a young entrepreneur who built a multi-million-dollar company from scratch. When asked about his secret, he credited his success to a daily habit he adopted in his early 20s. Every morning, before checking his phone or even drinking coffee, he would write down 3 critical tasks he needed to accomplish that day. These were not random to-dos, but strategic actions directly tied to his business goals. Some days the tasks were small: sending an email, following up with a client, or refining a marketing strategy. Other days they were significant: pitching to investors or launching a new product. But no matter the scale, he never skipped this ritual. Over time, those 3 daily tasks added up. They became the building blocks of his empire. This story is many of the world's most accomplished individuals, athletes, artists, CEOs, and innovators attribute their achievements to similar daily habits. They understand that success is not about working harder, but about working smarter. It's about channeling effort into the right activities consistently and without exception. The daily habit of planning or prioritizing acts as a filter, ensuring that your energy is invested in what truly matters. Of course, adopting this habit requires discipline. It's easy to dismiss it as too simple or unnecessary. After all, how much impact can 10 minutes of writing really have? The answer lies in the science of habit formation. When you repeat a behavior consistently, it becomes automatic. It rewires your brain, creating neural pathways that make the habit easier to sustain over time. By committing to this practice daily, you train your mind to focus on priorities, to resist distractions, and to value progress over perfection. You cultivate a mindset of ownership over your time and your life. There's another layer to this habit that often goes unnoticed. It fosters self-awareness. When you take time each morning to reflect on your goals, you're forced to confront whether your daily actions align with your larger aspirations. Are you spending time on things that matter, or are you drifting? This moment of honesty is crucial. It prevents you from living on autopilot, from waking up one day and realizing you've been climbing the wrong ladder. The habit of daily planning keeps you connected to your purpose. It serves as a compass, guiding you back to your true north whenever life tries to pull you off course. Let's also address a common misconception that success requires constant hustle. We've been sold the idea that grinding 18 hours a day, sacrificing sleep, and burning out are the prices of achievement. But this is a dangerous myth. True success is sustainable. It's about working with intention, not exhaustion. The daily habit of setting priorities helps you avoid the trap of overcommitting. By focusing on a few key tasks, you create space for rest, creativity, and relationships, elements that are essential for long-term fulfillment. Think of your energy as a finite resource. If you spread it too thin, you'll accomplish little of real value. But if you concentrate it on high-impact activities, you'll achieve extraordinary outcomes. This is the principle of leverage, and it's at the heart of the daily planning habit. By identifying your big rocks, the tasks that will make the most significant difference, you ensure that they get done first. Everything else becomes secondary. Now you might wonder, what if my priorities change? What if unexpected events derail my plans? Flexibility is key. The purpose of daily planning isn't to create a rigid schedule, but to provide structure within which you can adapt. Life is unpredictable, emergencies arise, opportunities knock, and circumstances shift. But when you have a clear sense of your priorities, you can adjust without losing sight of your goals. You can pivot without panicking. The habit of planning equips you with the clarity to navigate uncertainty. Let me share another example. A teacher once told me about her struggle to balance work, family, and personal growth. She felt overwhelmed, constantly juggling responsibilities, but never making progress toward her dream of writing a book. Then she started a simple practice. Every Sunday evening, she spent 20 minutes outlining her goals for the week. Each morning, she'd review her plan and choose one writing task to complete before school. Whether it was drafting a paragraph, researching a topic, or editing a chapter. At first, the progress was slow, but over months, those small daily actions accumulated. Within a year, she had completed her manuscript. The habit didn't just help her write a book, it taught her how to reclaim control of her time and ambitions. This illustrates another critical aspect of the daily planning habit. It breaks overwhelming goals into manageable steps. Many people fail to achieve their dreams because they focus on the enormity of the end result, rather than the process of getting there. The daily habit of planning forces you to think in terms of incremental progress. It shifts your attention from the mountain peak to the next step forward. And each step, no matter how small, builds momentum. Momentum is a powerful force. Once you start moving in the right direction, even slowly, you create a positive feedback loop. Each completed task boosts your confidence. Each small win reinforces your belief in your ability to succeed. Over time, this momentum becomes unstoppable. But it all begins with that first step, the decision to commit to a daily habit that aligns your actions with your aspirations. It's also worth noting that this habit cultivates resilience. Life is full of setbacks, failed projects, rejected ideas, unforeseen obstacles. Without a clear sense of purpose, these challenges can derail you. But when you have a daily practice of refocusing on your priorities, you develop the mental toughness to persevere. You learn to view setbacks as temporary detours, not dead ends. You keep showing up day after day because you've built a routine that transcends momentary difficulty. Consider the analogy of a garden. If you plant seeds but never water them, they'll never grow. Success is no different. Your goals are the seeds, your daily habits are the water. Without consistent nurturing, even the most promising ideas will wither. The daily habit of planning is how you tend to your garden. It's how you ensure that your efforts are deliberate, focused, and sustained. Some might argue that they don't have time for this habit. They're too busy, too overwhelmed, too stuck in their routines. But this is a fallacy. The busier you are, the more you need this practice. It's not about adding another task to your plate. It's about organizing the tasks already there. Those 10 minutes in the morning will save you hours of wasted time, indecision, and stress throughout the day. It's an investment, not an expense. Moreover, this habit has ripple effects beyond productivity. When you start your day with intention, you carry that sense of purpose into every interaction. You become more present, more engaged, and more effective in all areas of life. Whether you're a parent, a student, an artist, or a CEO, the clarity you gain from daily planning enhances your relationships, your creativity, and your overall well-being. Let's also talk about the role of consistency. Success is rarely the result of a single heroic effort. It's the product of showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it. The daily habit of planning reinforces this principle. It teaches you that progress is not about perfection, but persistence. It's about honoring your commitment to yourself, regardless of external circumstances. I'll never forget a conversation I had with a retired athlete who won multiple Olympic medals. When I asked about his training regimen, he said something surprising. The hardest part wasn't the physical work. It was the mental discipline of sticking to my routine, even on days when I wanted to quit. He described a habit he maintained throughout his career. Every night, he wrote down his training goals for the next day. This practice kept him accountable, focused, and mentally prepared. It turned ordinary days into stepping stones toward extraordinary achievement. This brings me to another important point. The daily planning habit is deeply personal. It's not about copying someone else's routine, but designing one that works for you. For some, planning the night before is more effective. Others prefer morning sessions. Some use digital tools. Others swear by handwritten lists. The method matters less than the mindset. What's essential is that you create a ritual that helps you clarify your priorities and commit to acting on them. It's also crucial to celebrate progress, no matter how small. The daily habit of planning isn't just about checking off tasks. It's about recognizing growth. Take a moment at the end of each day to reflect on what you accomplished. Acknowledge your efforts, even if everything didn't go as planned. This practice builds gratitude and reinforces the connection between your actions and your results. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Failure. What happens when you miss a day? What if you fall back into old habits? The answer is simple: start again. Success is not about never slipping up. It's about getting back on track quickly. The beauty of a daily habit is that every morning offers a fresh start. Forgive yourself for yesterday's missteps and focus on what you can do today. I'll leave you with a final thought. Success is not a destination. It's a journey. And like any journey, it's made up of countless steps. The daily habit of planning is the compass that keeps you moving in the right direction. It's the thread that weaves your days into a coherent story of growth and achievement. So if you take one thing from this speech, let it be this: start small. Start today. Pick up a pen, write down your priorities, and take that first step. The road to success is paved with simple, consistent action, and it all begins with a single daily habit. In closing, remember that the power to shape your life lies in your hands. You don't need permission, luck, or a dramatic transformation. You need the courage to embrace a simple practice and the discipline to stick with it. Success isn't reserved for the chosen few. It's available to anyone willing to put in the work day after day. So, what will you do tomorrow morning? Will you let the world dictate your time, or will you seize control? The choice is yours. And that choice, repeated daily, is where true success begins.